Do you remember Morecambe and Wise? They used to do their skits in bed together. Well, that's where I am right now, although I'm on my own. I got my pyjamas on. I did mention this morning that I was keeping an eye on 3 football games today, starting off in reverse order, keeping the best till last. Real unfortunately lost 4-3 at home to Holyhead, and that keeps things very interesting at the top of the Ardal Northwest table. That's the 3rd tier in Welsh football, which is regionalised, because Holyhead and Porthmadog now have a chance themselves, although Real very much in the driving seat still. As long as they don't allow that wobble to become a little bit more permanent, they should be okay. Leeds United 2-0 down at QPR, came back to secure a point. Burnley won, and Sheffield United are playing tomorrow, so still very, very tight at the top of the championship as well. However, the mighty Wolves 2-1 victory on the road at Southampton. Ipswich lost at home to Nottingham Forest, and Leicester play tomorrow evening. I'll be a Manchester United supporter for that game for sure. It's looking good for Wolves. It's looking good for Leeds. It's looking good for Real. You might lose the odd battle along the way, but as long as you win the war, that's the important thing, isn't it? The last movie review that I did was a modern reworking of The Famous Five, and the next one will also be the same as well. However, you can't beat the real thing, can you? And this is my bedtime reading tonight. I love The Famous Five ever since I was a child, and I still read them now. Start at the beginning and work all the way through and start all over again. You know what's coming, but really good books. I enjoy them very much indeed. The alarm clock is set for 5:40, so it's going to be a cold start to the day, but I'm going fishing, and I'll see you in the morning and hopefully get a few fish on the bank as well. First cast, I had a dip. It didn't develop. No suck maggot either. I've chucked it out again, and I'm going to pour a cup of tea. On this occasion, it's more than just my first cuppa of the day, but actually it'll warm my hands as well. I think I've got fingers, and I think I've got toes. I'm sure I have, just can't feel them yet. After several slight dips and sucked maggots, at least I'm not a blanker anymore. Never underestimate small fish, especially when the conditions are like this. That was hard going. It reminded me of the time, must have been about 11, 12, that sort of age, and I was fishing with Hursthill Labour Club, and we used to have contests back in the days before commercials, so they were all on natural waters, and it was in the winter, and a coachload of us went to the Warwickshire Avon 5-hour contest, and at the end of it, no one caught a single fish. It was absolutely freezing. There was ice in the margins even on the river, so that's how cold it was. And I always remember one boy who's about my age tried to weigh in a decomposed gudgeon, and they wouldn't allow it, of course. It had been dead for weeks. It hadn't just died, it had been dead for some time. But think of all those anglers times 5 hours. How many hours of fishing in total for nothing at all? At least in 2 hours this morning, I did catch one small roach.